Also had an opportunity to sit down with Dusty Ryder's wife, stepdaughter, and sister-in-law, their reaction and how they're dealing with the grief.
Thanks, Leslie. In North Idaho, the Bureau of Land Management is offering a $1,000 reward for information about vandalism and unauthorized vehicle use in the Pine Creek non-motorized area south of Pinehurst. BLM said this happened during the first 2 weeks of April and involved the removal and destruction of signs and posts. Anyone with information is asked to contact BLM law enforcement. Bunker Hill Mining says it remains on track to restart its Idaho mine in June, marking the first time the historic mining site has been operational in more than 40 years. The company reports construction and commissioning is now about 85% complete. Bunker Hill has also launched an underground drill program to support mine planning and expand resources. The mining corporation's president and CEO says his team is expanding in size each day as they work to resume operations in June. The company plans to create 200 new jobs for the new silver mining operation. A man was rescued from cold water after his boat sank near Ford, according to Stevens County Fire District 1. They say the man was found about 2,000 feet from shore, cold and tired, but alert. Crews from multiple agencies helped bring him to safety. He was taken by life flight to Sacred Heart, where he is expected to make a full recovery.
Morgan Ashley, bringing you the content that connects our communities. You're watching NonStop Local Pulse Prime.
He extended his love to everybody. My kids couldn't have asked for a better father.
Well, the family of a 41-year-old father killed in a hit-and-run crash is remembering their loved one, telling us about their sudden loss and what they want our community to know moving forward. Thanks for being here this evening. I'm Morgan Ashley. Dusty Ryder was on his motorcycle near the intersection of West Indiana and North Atlantic over the weekend when witnesses say a car blew through a stop sign and hit him. Shortly after, flames could be seen coming from the scene. The Ryder family says Dusty was a wonderful father to his 8 kids, and they're holding onto his humor and the heartfelt memories made while asking for justice. The person believed to be behind the wheel at the time, 37-year-old Kiana Cox, who appeared in court Thursday. She pleaded not guilty to vehicular manslaughter and driving with a suspended license. She was previously convicted for reckless driving and hit and run after a DUI arrest. She'll be on trial mid-June. Tracking some new information out of Julietta, Idaho tonight, Latah County Sheriff's deputies discovered 2 people dead in their home last night after responding to calls for a welfare check. We brought you this first as breaking news on Pulse Prime last night. Police say 66-year-old Kent Rotchi and his wife, 65-year-old Krista Rotchi, were beyond help when they arrived to the home. Investigators don't believe anybody else was involved, but the exact cause of their deaths is under investigation. In fire mode tonight is tomorrow, April 25th. The city of Spokane's conducting a wildfire evacuation drill in the Latah Hangman neighborhood. So the exact timing of the drill has not been given to simulate a real emergency, but it'll happen over the course of an hour. City officials say their objectives are to familiarize people with evacuation routes and safety procedures while identifying and addressing potential hazards. The end goal, to empower the community to act quickly during a real emergency. All right, let's check our weather forecast. Here is Chief Weather Forecaster Leslie Lowe.
Daytime highs today, 52 degrees, so below our average. Average now 60 degrees with sunset tonight at 7:52. It has been chilly in the overnight hours. We're expecting the same. You can see average overnight lows 39. Last night we were just at 31 degrees. The good news, winds have died down. The only place we're really still watching is back towards Okanagan County, where we've seen some wind gusts upwards of about 30 miles per hour. But satellite and radar all clear. Active weather is now over to the east of us. That's where we're continuing to see some snowfall in some of those higher elevations. Otherwise, we've got that ridge of high pressure building in. Now, it is cold tonight, so we've added a few freeze warnings here to the forecast. Freeze warnings for all areas shaded in purple. They'll expire tomorrow morning here over towards Montana. They'll hold on through the morning hours on Sunday, and then we've got some frost advisories for those areas shaded in lighter blue. Temperatures low to mid 20s for many across the northern mountains. A full look at that weather forecast when I see you back here in just a few minutes.
Well, new tonight, 3 students and a Richland school bus driver are all right following a crash along George Washington Way and Williams Boulevard just before 3 this afternoon. This is actually the second road incident involving a Richland school district bus in the last 48 hours. Yesterday, Richland police say a bus hit a student walking to Rivers Edge High School just before 9 a.m. Police say the bus driver stopped and checked on the student before leaving the scene. This is now being investigated as a hit and run. To a big story now is 2 more cases of the measles appearing in the Pacific Northwest, shutting down a central Washington school while fears about cracks in herd immunity grow. According to state and Kittitas County health officials, the county is experiencing an active outbreak with 7 cases now. The most recent confirmed cases were in fact linked to Valley View Elementary School, where someone infectious was at the school between April 8th and the 15th. These new cases bring the total number to 39 confirmed cases in the state, more than half of them in kids aged 5 to 17. Nearly all of the cases confirmed, 30 of the 39, were in unvaccinated kids.
We just want people to know that measles is serious and it is very contagious, but we want people to not be scared. Just check their vaccination status, and if you're fully vaccinated, you're not really a big exposure risk, but if you're not fully vaccinated or you're unsure, just if you start developing any symptoms, please stay at home.
According to the CDC, almost 1,800 people have contracted measles nationwide this year. Just one of those cases confirmed in Spokane County. In Idaho, there have been 2 confirmed measles cases this year. Doctors say the best way to prevent contracting measles is to get vaccinated. In health news concerning and sustained increases in teen overdoses when it comes to using diphenhydramine, according to the Washington Poison Center. That's a common name for the drug, the over-counter medication sold as sleep aids or allergy meds like Benadryl. In 2025, the Poison Center treated some 32 cases per month for kids between 13 and 19. Between January and March of this year, there's been an average of 52 cases per month. According to the center, the increase is linked to intentional self-harm and substance misuse. You're encouraged to check in on your kids as they head into the end of the school year and make sure you recognize the signs when your teen's struggling. Talk openly about suicide risk and mental health and connect them to support like the National Crisis Line, which is 988, or Washington Teen Link. Well, day 2 of the NFL draft in Pittsburgh. Football fans from all over the country looking to see who might be their next big star. Noah Schmick joins us now with more on what the Seattle Seahawks did in rounds 2 and 3. Did we just talk about this last week? We thought.
Yeah, we were like
some predictions that did not come true.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. You're not wrong, Morgan. Seattle head coach Mike Macdonald. He is a defensive-minded coach, and he grabbed 2 guys on that side of the ball that should reinforce the Seahawks secondary, who lost cornerback Reek Woolen and safety Kobe Bryant this offseason. With the last pick in the 2nd round, the Seahawks selected TCU defensive back Bud Clark. Now, Clark was a multi-year starter at safety for the Horned Frogs, who collected 15 interceptions with his career and 215 total tackles. Draft analysts call him a versatile safety who covers ground quickly in coverage. Then the Hawks went to the Steelers, who were willing to trade up for their 96th overall pick. In return, the Seahawks received 2 more picks in this year's draft. And 6'2", 203 pounds. 99 total tackles in his career with 4 interceptions, as draft analysts call him a smart zone coverage specialist who can help out in run support. So here's a look at the Seahawks draft board so far. Of course, Notre Dame running back Jadarian Price, he was picked in round 1, along with the additions today of Clark and Neal. The Hawks don't have a 4th or 5th round pick, as they traded those to the Saints for Rashid Shaheed, but they now have 2 6th round picks for tomorrow, one they acquired from the Cleveland Browns, and now the Pittsburgh Steelers. Morgan?
The first pair of lenses I got in 8 years. I have taken 6 months to come to about running 20 plus miles a week.
Well, an 88-year-old runner is getting ready to hit the pavement for the 50th running of Bloomsday. It'll be his 48th race, and he says buying a $200 pair of shoes is just one of his secrets to get out there and train. He says the first half mile is the hardest of any run, and you will always feel tired, so just get over it. NonStop Local's Heidi Miley is here with this inspirational story. He's a character.
Just get over it.
Yeah, there you go.
Morgan, I wish you could have come with me today. Best day ever. So much fun. Made my new friend, Tadahiko Hasib. He took me out on a run in Millwood, and he says if you're about to make an excuse in your head, hey, just get those running shoes on instead. And how many days a week do you run?
5 times.
At age 88, that schedule is 8 years after Hasib's knee buckled out from under him.
It's that bone on bone, and I was told by orthopedic doctor I cannot run.
He missed the first Bloomsday and one other.
My mother's 88th birthday in Tokyo. She did not plan on her birthday being on the same date as a Bloomsday.
Hasib has run 23 major marathons, including in Tokyo, Paris, and Boston. Now he takes injections and radiation for his knee and started running again 6 months ago.
But I wanted to keep on running. You know, it's in your DNA.
So, what do people say to you when they see you go by?
So just wave.
Hasib is actually training for the Windermere Half Marathon at 5 times a week for a total of 20 miles.
With the longest run being 10 miles. And I also run up to Albuquerque Hill. That is a far tougher hill than the Bloomsday Hill.
Tell me your secret again for doing this for so many years.
Put your running shoes on before you make another excuse.
Yeah, and Morgan, at age 88, Hasib tells me that he is going to run in 10 more Bloomsdays.
Oh
in studio, I'm Heidi Miley.
Okay, so I have to ask, with this mentality, he's got to be winning a lot of these races, right?
Right. Well, he's been a marathon runner. He says that the very first Bloomsday, he didn't know about it. That's why he missed the very first one. Since then, he's become a big marathon runner. He says that he usually places 2nd through 4th in his age group.
Oh, that's incredible.
We'll see this year.
Yeah, we will see. We'll have to check back in with him. Thank you, Heidi. That was awesome. All right, let's get a check at our Bloomsday countdown. We are just 8 days away now, 11 hours, 19 minutes until the Bloomsday road race. And NonStop Local, KHQ, and SWX are your home for Bloomsday. Our coverage Sunday, May 3rd, starts at 7 a.m. with our preview special. Then at 8 a.m., you can watch race coverage live on SWX as well as nonstoplocal.com. Make sure to follow us on our digital platforms and connect with us by sharing your Bloomsday pictures and videos. We will use them in our post-race coverage. Well, still to come here tonight, an incredibly destructive tornado ripped through parts of Oklahoma this week following a string of strong storms. A frightening video still to come. And then Leslie Lowe's back in the Weather Center. It is the weekend. Her full weather forecast right after this.
Content connecting community. You're watching The Pulse.
I'm Bradley Warren. Welcome inside the Pulse Studios. This is The Pulse. We'll start in Pullman, where Washington State University police are sharing a message of warning. an active threat right now that could be posed by cocaine laced with fentanyl across the Palouse. The university was reportedly notified that police discovered the substance on Thursday morning. It's believed to be cocaine laced with a synthetic opiate. Now, the email that was sent out to students also put the city on alert as well and urged everyone to avoid taking drugs and assume they could contain fentanyl. WSU police are asking for any Ring doorbell footage or tips that could be helpful in their investigation. Turning now to a story we've been tracking here on the Pulse for a while. Benton County sheriffs say the 22-year-old on your screen, Otanil Paragua, reportedly used TikTok to connect with a child. Detectives say he also sexually assaulted that child. According to police investigators, they also found evidence that he might have been connecting using other platforms and speaking to other unidentified victims through TikTok, text messaging, and Discord. He's being held on a $150,000 bond and will be back in court on the 28th. We plan to bring you follow-up coverage. To a traffic alert right now, construction along East Mission Avenue and Liberty Lake will start on Monday. This work is expected to last into the summer. According to the city of Liberty Lake, crews will remove and replace sidewalks and curves and then install ADA ramps along with a new asphalt overlay. Expect delays and one lane of traffic to be in operation while this is going on. Thanks for being with us. I'm Bradley Warren. That's been your Pulse Update. We'll see you.
Well, across America tonight, the U.S. Justice Department's dropping its investigation into U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell and the ongoing renovation at the Fed's headquarters. The investigation into alleged overspending has been going on for months now. According to a federal judge, it's produced no evidence to justify the probe. Some Republicans have pushed back on that probe, vowing to hold up the approval of President Trump's pick to succeed Powell, Kevin Warsh, until it's dropped. Both sides of the aisle are accusing each other of using this issue as a political stunt.
The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president.
He's been terrible on interest rates because he should have lowered interest rates. That's why I call him Jerome, too late.
To the Fed bank officials, the original renovation estimate was $1.9 billion, but rising material and labor costs pushed that figure higher, prompting a probe. The Federal Reserve's Inspector General has reviewed the project and found no wrongdoing, but is reviewing it again at the request of Powell. Tornadoes roared through the central United States on Thursday, bringing a powerful twister that leveled a number of homes in a town about 65 miles northwest of Oklahoma City. At least 10 people were hurt, but fortunately no deaths have been reported. Nearby Vance Air Force Base was also hit, and according to a Facebook post, lost water and power.
This is not going to be a week of recovery. This is going to be months to years of recovery for this community. And for all of these families, they're going to need friends and loved ones walking alongside them for a long time.
This tornado is believed to be an EF4 and comes after several days of severe storms across the region.
We'll look for partly cloudy skies as we head overnight tonight with all that active weather now shifting to the east of us for our friends in Montana and into the Dakotas. It will be frosty, though. We do now have some freeze warnings added to our forecast. All areas shaded in purple. They're set to expire tomorrow morning over towards Montana. They're going to hold on through Sunday morning, and then our frost advisories for areas shaded in lighter blue. Those also set to expire tomorrow morning. Overnight lows tonight, mid to upper 20s and low 30s for most. It's just slightly warmer over towards the Tri-Cities at 37 degrees. We'll see an overnight low tonight in Yakima at 36 degrees. So that tops off the lowdown. Get ready for some frosty conditions as we kick off our day tomorrow. Otherwise, sunshine expected throughout the weekend. Our temperatures hovering just about average for this time of the year. On Monday, maybe some spotty showers, been flip-flopping back and forth, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Otherwise, we look pretty quiet this next week with temperatures set to bump up into the 70s. On our satellite, you can actually see that ridge of high pressure sitting offshore. That will continue to strengthen. It keeps that storm track up to the north of us. So I'll zoom in, and again, we'll look for clear skies as we head into the overnight. Sorry, I should say a few clouds out there, but not bad. Daytime highs for tomorrow under those mainly sunny skies, 56 in Spokane, 56 degrees also expected over towards Coeur d'Alene, mid-50s from Priest River down through Rosalia. Northern mountains hit the 60s for Brewster up towards Omak. We've got upper 50s expected tomorrow in Chewelah and in Colville. And then for the Panhandle tomorrow, mid-50s for Bonners Ferry, lower into the 50s for a daytime high tomorrow in Sandpoint. Over towards the Cascade Valleys, low 60s. That continues into Moses Lake and Othello. And then we've got mid to upper 50s from Davenport into Ritzville, 60-degree temperatures tomorrow in Grand Coulee. It is still on the cooler side into Montana. That's where we're seeing that snow again. For the higher elevations, 48 degrees are expected high in Kalispell. We'll hit 55 in the Silver Valley, mid-50s also for the Palouse as well as Grangeville, but we are hopping into the 60s for Lewiston and Orofino. So we're clear. We're in the clear. However, the watch spot tomorrow is going to be this multi-day storm that is going to push through the Mississippi-Tennessee valleys and then up towards the mid-Atlantic states. The potential for severe weather is in the forecast once again. So if you are traveling this direction as we head into our weekend, please make sure you're checking with your air carrier. And of course, if you've got family that direction, make sure you check in with them as well. Like I said, spotty showers expected on Monday, but look at those temperatures as we head into Thursday and Friday. I think we'll take the 70s.
Well, the Washington State Cougars are wrapping up spring football camp. Noah's going to be back with what the Cougs want to show the fans in their spring game tomorrow afternoon.
Live from the Northern Quest Sports Studio. This is SWX NonStop Local Sports.
The Washington State Cougars will wrap up spring football camp tomorrow. 14 practices down with both sides of the ball getting used to new coaches and new schemes. On the defensive side of the ball under defensive coordinator Trent Bray, It's all about flying around and causing some havoc. And that's something that freshman linebacker Isaiah Hung has no problem with and says it will be on full display on Saturday afternoon for those fans looking to see the new look Cougs.
In the spring game, we definitely want to show our physicality, I think. That's the number one thing. The way that we run to the ball, we're going to have a different mindset than, I mean, I know every defense says it, but we're going to have a different swarm. We're going to have, obviously, try and have the best swarm in the country.
The annual Crimson and Gray game kicks off tomorrow at 2 o'clock in Pullman, and it will be followed by a kids clinic right after on the field. Seattle Mariners had the day off yesterday to get ready for a 6-game road trip to the Midwest. First stop, St. Louis, Missouri. Game 1 against the Cardinals. And it was all tied up at 2 runs each in the 6th inning when Josh Naylor tattoos a ball. That one goes into the Cardinals bullpen to give the Seattle Mariners a 3-2 lead. Andres Munoz looking for the save in the 9th, and he gets the batter swinging. His 4th save of the season as the Mariners win Game 1 3-2. Game 2 tomorrow just after 11 o'clock. The Gonzaga baseball team went into tonight's game on the longest win streak in Division I baseball. As the Bulldogs, they faced Loyola Marymount on SWX and looked to make it 12 wins in a row. But the Lions were out to a 3-0 lead until the 5th inning. Ricky Sanchez, little blooper into left. That's going to score Jacob Robleski from third base. Then the very next batter, Mikey Bell, launches one deep to left center. That ball is somewhere on Cincinnati Street for a 3-run home run, as that's all the Zags needed to make it a program record 12 straight wins, the longest win streak right now still in Division I baseball. That's just about all for sports, but before we go, let's meet our team of the week.
Congratulations to McDonald's Team of the Week, the Pulse Falls High School Girls Fast Pitch Softball Team.
They have a high team GPA and they're led by their 3 seniors.
I think we work really well as a team together and all of us push each other.
These girls they always make practice just so fun. They are just so inspiring, so fun to be around.
We have a great dynamic, I feel like. We all just know each other so well. Just makes it good for a good field.
I think it really helps us get through, even though we're super competitive, we're all still in it together.
Having fun. I mean, that's the most important thing I've always done, is just have fun. It's just a game, yeah.
The Celtice McDonald's is proud to sponsor this week's Team of the Week.
Pulse Falls Fast Pitch Softball Team.
Trojans on 3! 1, 2, 3, Trojans!
Finally tonight, the historic train depot in Cheney hasn't seen a train in more than 50 years. Now it's become a new community gathering place. The 100-year-old depot's opening up as a coffee shop, filling up a portion of that vacant space with more attractions to come. So right now you can visit Eastern Coffee Roasters, but the total space is 1,200 square feet and features a conference room in addition to a TV community space. All right, we hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the weather. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
More Ashley, bringing you the content that connects our communities.